The other night, a girl asked me out, and I said no, not because I already have a girlfriend, but because I was already scheduled to play X-Wing.
Hey guys, it's Cody C from Geek, A.D.D.net. I got my Wave 7 for X-Wing miniatures. Now, I'll admit, I had some pretty big prejudices against these ships. It's a flying sandcrawler. That's a Klingon ship. Wrong universe. That's just a bunch of TIE bombers they couldn't sell that they just strapped together. And nobody knows what that's supposed to be. But now that I have these ships out of the box, I got them in hand. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little into them. Fantasy Flight always does a good job on their models, regardless whether they have a good design or a lousy design. They always do a great job. Let's talk about the Kirax fighter. The Kirax fighter is from Star Wars Galaxies, just like the M3A Interceptor is, and they both have the same default paint scheme. The Kirax is kind of the scum X-Wing. There's not a whole lot that can go wrong with it, but there's also not a whole lot special it can do. Compared to the X-Wing, the stat line is a little just reconfigured. The dial is arguably better, but not by much. The thing that sets the Kirax apart is the illicit slot. You got Glitter Stim, which is a new upgrade, comes with it. You also have some of the existing illicits like inertial dampeners, hot shot blaster. You can do some pretty creative tricks. Talonbane Cobra is the top pilot for this ship, and at first it seems like he has a pretty cool ability. Any range bonuses get doubled, whether defense or on attack. However, when you're defending against secondary weapons, his ability is useless. And when you think about the number of secondary weapons currently in the game, I don't think he's really going to come into play very often. Some of the new hotness with the Kirax fighter are the different upgrades it comes with. You got Glitter Stim, which is really cool, Lightning Reflexes, and Crack Shot. Now all of these are pretty much one-shot uses, but they do some pretty cool stuff for you that normally the X-Wing nor any other ship can really do on its own. Let's talk about the K-Wing. Now, I'm a little uncomfortable having the K-Wing in this game. In the lore, it shows up very, very late, even later than the E-Wing, I believe. But, you needed a counterpart to the TIE Punisher, so I guess it's okay. That, and, it's kind of... It's super ugly, but also it's so ugly it's beautiful. It is the first small-based ship to not have any red maneuvers on its dial, and also have a built-in turret function. Now, there's a lot of new hotness with this ship. You got the slam action, advanced slam, counternet, twin laser turret. This is a really attractive ship to buy, even if you end up not even using it. Let's start with twin laser turret. This is a range 2 to 3 turret upgrade, which has not existed before. It has an effect similar to an ion cannon, but it's slightly tweaked. It's essentially going to net you 2 damage every time you attack with it. Now I want to talk about Advanced Slam and the counternet. So first let's start with the slam action. You perform your maneuver. We're going to do it 2 straight. Then you announce, I'm going to do a slam action. You place the weapons disabled token next to your ship. It means you can't fire because you are slamming. Then we pick another maneuver. Let's say the 290 degree to the right. And then you move twice. Just like that. Now, with the advanced slam, you can perform an action after performing the slam. So, we're going to drop the counternet, which is a bomb, requires an action, just like proximity mines. Place it in the back, pull a template. If somebody flies over it, say Bosk is doing a 3 straight, the bomb explodes, so then he's going to have to suffer 1 damage, 2 ion tokens, as well as not perform an action this turn. Now he can still do actions later, but he skips his perform action step. It's pretty effective at wrangling not only small ships, but also big ships. The TIE Punisher was previously known as the TIE Interdictor in the lore, but to me that's kind of a weird name. It's kind of hard to say, like Interdictor. If you want to compare it to the Kwing, it's a little more maneuverable. It has more options on its dial. It has some red moves, but it does have a 4K turn, which the Kwing does not have. And it also has a system slot, so you can get pretty creative with the different things you could put in there. One thing that's a little funny, interesting, is it has boost, so you can equip it with auto thrusters. I don't know why you would, but it's definitely a possibility. Let's talk about new hotness with this ship. We got the pilot Death Rain, as well as cluster mines. Let's say you have advanced sensors attached to Death Rain. We're going to use his cool ability he has to drop bombs in front of a ship rather than behind. And we're going to drop cluster mines. So you do it like this. And then you add these little circles on either side of it. Now, Death Rain's got this cool ability where after dropping a bomb, he can perform a barrel roll. It's a free barrel roll action, so you can't do it if you're stressed. And then let's say he did a 2-bank afterwards as his maneuver, because remember we did advanced sensors. So he's going to do a 2-bank like that. He's going to clear out of there. Now, let's say this K-Wing's coming up behind him, reveals their maneuver. It's going to be a 3 straight. Oh no! Boom, 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 boom. So it looks like we hit all 3. So what's going to happen to that ship is it's going to have to roll attack dice. So 2 dice, 2 dice, 2 dice, and suffer any hits rolled on there. Now, another part of the new hotness that comes in both the TIE Punisher and the K-Wing is extra munitions. Let's say you have Counternet, Plasma Torpedo, and Cluster Mine. With extra munitions, you get to add an ordnance token to each upgrade card. So that way, if you have Death Rain drops a Counternet. Normally, this is gone. However, because of extra munitions, you take the token, and now you get to keep the upgrade. Now, if you use it again, of course you have to flip face down, but you essentially are taking double the amount of ordnance you're normally taking. The next ship I want to talk about is the YV-666, also known as the Houndstooth. Bosk flies this ship. He's the lizard bounty hunter from Empire Strikes Back who doesn't wear shoes. It's essentially a combination of a Lambda shuttle and a fire spray. It has a big wide primary arc, and then this arc here, 180-degree auxiliary arc. The cool thing on this dial is the full stop maneuver. It's a red 0, just like on the Lambda shuttle. The YV-666 is pretty cool because it has 3 crew slots. The only other ship in the game to have this is the Decimator, which it's pretty powerful. I've always struggled between choosing Outlaw Tech and K4 Security Droid. On this ship, you can take both. In terms of new hotness with this ship, you got the Houndstooth. It's an upgrade card which lets you deploy the Nashta Pup after being destroyed. Now, the Nashta Pup is a Z95 that has the same pilot skill as whatever is on your pilot card. So if you're Bosk, you're going to have PS7, for example. The way it works, once you get destroyed, choose a maneuver on the Z95 dial, put it on either the front or the back of the Houndstooth, place the Nashta Pup on the end. He's dead. That's gone. You can still perform an action, but you can't attack this turn. All right, let's talk about how to take these ships down. Going back to the Kirax, it's not a particularly durable fighter, but it only has one shield on it. So once you take out that one shield, it's only got the 4 hull left. So once you put some crits on it, it should go down very quickly. Now, if I was going to go against the K-Wing, I'd try to stress it out. So that way, it can't slam. If it can't slam, it loses a lot of its mobility, as well as its ability to use the advanced slam. So, it's only got the 1 evade die, so if you hit it with focus fire, it should go down pretty quickly. Now, the TIE Punisher has a similar vulnerability as the K-Wing. It's only got that 1 evade die to protect its 9 health, but I think you can hit it with a stress and ion combo. That's really going to shut it down. If it can't do actions and if it can't move, it's going to be reluctant to drop bombs. You're going to be able to get out of its arc really quickly. It's also a little bit more vulnerable to crits than the K-Wing is, so that's a very attractive option as well. For the Houndstooth, get behind it. It has a hard time with arc dodgers, especially if it doesn't have maneuvering fins or engine upgrade. Once you get behind it, it can't K-turn, so it's going to have to try to do some real tight turns to get you an arc. If you just start pounding on it, it's going to go down pretty quickly. So that's Wave 7. I'm Cody C from geekadd.net. I hope you will go to your local game store, pick these guys up. They are really, really fun to play. So far I've played games that had all 3 of these. Not the Kirax yet, but I am excited to fly it as well as shoot it down. So, I'm Cody C from geekadd.net. Please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you later. Play X-Wing.